Alright guys, I'm going to show you today a little bit of how to make our Python programs a little bit more complicated. In my last video, I went over things like how to make variables input, and we did functions, and we're going to incorporate that into today's lesson. But first and foremost, let's start with three variables. So let's name one time_traveler. Okay, set it equal to nothing for now. Let's name one parents age, set it equal to nothing, and then friends underscore age equal to nothing. Okay, so let's put some numbers in here. Put your age, find out maybe one of your parents' ages, find out maybe one of our friends' ages. Okay, so remember, variable is pretty easy. Left side is the name. We put an equal sign. Right side is what's inside of it. For this program, we're only using numbers. If we were using strings, which are just sentences or words encoding, we would just do something like this, like that, right? Okay, so just so you know. So we've been making pretty simple programs. Let's make something a little bit more complex. So to do that, we need to use two special things. We're going to use one is called operators, and then two, they're called if statements. So operators are pretty easy, okay? I can do things like 10 times 5, okay? And if I do it around a print statement, remember, print is just a built-in function of Python. So if I print 10 times 5, I can do 50, right? If I print 5 plus 5, I'm going to get that answer. If I divide 10 by 5, I better get 2, otherwise we would be concerned, okay? And if I, what else do we do? Subtract, if I can do print 10 minus 5, I can subtract. Okay, I also can compare things. I can also do print 10 is less than 4, or whatever, 5. We can use whatever number we want. Now, think a second. I don't know if you're going to get this. What will print out here? Because there's no solution to 10 is less than 5. If you remember when you first learned math, you may have done problems like this where it was just 10 less than 5 and you were expected to write something. I don't know if you remember that, but you would either write true or false. This is going to come out as false because 10 is not less than 5. If I print 10 is greater than 2, guess it's going to print out true. Okay, so we can compare stuff with the signs as well. If you want to set something equal, now we do here like print 10 is equal to 10, and that's going to print out as true over here. Okay, now this double equal sign, why is that happening? I want you to think. It's because equals, the single equal sign, is usually reserved for setting variables equal to something. Okay, so we use, when we want to talk about setting something equals to something versus making it a variable, it's a double equal sign. Okay, so know that we can do all sorts of math with programming, and it's really helpful. So let's get into our program. We're going to keep these variables up here. We're going to use what's called an if statement. An if statement is kind of like your brain. It's giving our program multiple choices to work with. So we're going to do a little bit of math using the variables. So watch this and write along with me. If, now let's pretend we're time travelers, okay? We traveled in the future. Let's compare if our parent's age is less than the time traveler's age, we might want to do something. We also want to do, if our parent's age is greater than the time traveler, let's do something. So let's do the following. If, and now I just said it, if parent's age is less than the time traveler, you might be able to write that out right now without even my help. So if you can write it out, pause it and try to write it out. How we write it out is the following. If, just like that, parent's age, and we're using the variable names, okay? So notice parents underscore age is what I have up here. You can change the variable name. If you don't like parent's age, just do parents. Or just do, if you don't like time traveler, just do traveler. It's up to you, as long as they match. So if I'm going to use parents, let's use parents down here. So if parents, and let's just use age, because I don't want to confuse anybody. The more descriptive in variables, the better. So if parent's age is less than time traveler, okay, we're going to put a colon. Now, I want you to think in a programming mindset here. We're not doing less than 2 words, are we? Because parent's age is equal to 40 right now. Time traveler is equal to 10. So we can quite literally substitute if 40 is less than 10. What would happen there? It would be false, because 40 is not less than 10. However, we don't need to just do true or false. Let's make a smart program. When we hit enter, it indents underneath the if statement. That's what we want. Type the following, print, and then we're going to do, in quotes, wow, my parents are so young in this timeline. Okay. So now, watch what happens when I hit run. Nothing. Okay. So, nothing happened here. That's because this is saying to you, if my parent's age is less than time traveler, so that means the parent's age here would have to be at least 9 or below. If it's true, if this statement is true, then it will print out this. So let me change the age here. If I hit run now, it's going to print, okay? Because we changed the parent's age. So luckily with these if statements, like I said, it's like giving the program a brain. I can hit enter, and I'm going to hit backspace once here. We can give it another option, another branch, another thing to think about. So, and the way you do it, you do if first. This line's going to be elif. It just means else if. It's kind of just like telling, that's how the computer thinks. It says, the computer says, hey, if this is happening, then do this. Else if, we can give it another condition. Else if, we can give it another condition. We can give it as much ifs as we want, but it's just short for else if, okay? So elif, let's do another one. So if my parents' age is less than time traveler, say, wow, my parents are so young in this timeline. How about elif parents' age is greater than time traveler? Okay, colon. Then we can print and do some quotes, and maybe we'll print, wow, my parents are still so old in this timeline. Okay, because again, we've compared parents' age and time traveler. We've said, hey, my parents' age is older now than time traveler. My parents' age is greater than time traveler age. And here, since my parents' age is 40 here and 10, 40 is greater than 10, watch what happens when we run it. Wow, my parents are still so old in this timeline. Great. Now, I want you to think here. We've just said parents' age is less than the time traveler age. Parents' age is older than the time traveler's age. We only have one option left. What is the only option we have left? And if you thought, what if me and my parents are the same age? That is correct. The way we do it, we hit enter. So we have 3 things. We're going to have 3 things. If, elif. When you've run out of all other options and you're ready to end the if statement, you do else. And else you put a colon and you hit enter. That's kind of how it ends. And then we can do else. And we do print. We go, wow, my parents are the same age as me. Or if I want to probably phrase that better, wow, I am the same age as my parents in this timeline. So now, you can see all the choices are reflected. So the way this works is it starts at the top. It says, hey, if, and it reads it. It says, hey, are the parent's age less than the time traveler? It checks the variables. It says, nope, 40 is not less than 10. Go to the next one. Then it says, hey, are the parent's age greater than the time traveler? It checks 40 and 10. It says, yes, 40 is greater than 10. Execute this line of code and don't do the rest. If I do something like this, guess what it does now? It reads it. Is the parent's age less than the time traveler? Compares them. Nope. Is the parent's age greater than the time traveler? Compares them. Nope. Is the parent's age, because we have else there, the only option left is, are they equal? Yes. Then print, wow, I am the same age as my parents in the timeline. Very good. Let's go 2 more things, and then we're done. 1, let's change these numbers, just like last time. Let's make them inputs. So input, let's write traveler's age. And make sure you put a space after the quote. It makes it so that when you write, it won't start right up next to that. And let's do input parent's age. Whoops, and I forgot to put those in quotes. If you get any errors, it's most of the time you didn't put your stuff in quotes, you didn't match variable names. Don't worry about friend's name for now. So watch this. Now our program is even smarter. And of course, I have to put something for this, so I'm just going to put that for there right now. So look at this. Traveler's age, 10. Parent's age, 40. Wow, my parents are still so old in this timeline. I can do it again. Traveler's age, 10. Parent's age, 5. Wow, my parents... That did not work. Let me see that one more time. 10, 5. My parents are still so old in this timeline. Why is that happening? So the program, I'm going to have to debug it. It could just be a replit. So you see now this is working. It did that to me before. I think replit just acts up a little bit sometimes. So you can see that works now. So now one more time, if I put the same age in, well, I'm the same age as my parents in this timeline. Okay, good. So we've made the program smarter. We've made it ask for inputs, and we've also made it go through these choices. Last thing here, we talked about functions last time. It just means that when I call a function, it executes all the code in the block. Let's put it in a function. Let's just do def. Def means define. Def, give the function a name. Let's do time travel. Put the quotes in and a colon. If you highlight it all and hit tab, it'll remember, because everything has to be indented. Then final thing, we come down and call the function. We just write time travel. Open and close parentheses. Now I've called it. It works really well. Okay, 10, 10, all it works. What I would like you to do in addition by Friday, incorporate your friend's age. Put something, try something with your friend's age down here in the function. Put it in the function, that way it can work, okay? Try the best you can. It's okay if you don't get it. Bare minimum, do what I've done with you today. Doing the friend's age is kind of like a stretch goal, okay? I'll make a video Wednesday incorporating the friend's goal, okay? Try this. Answer any questions in Google Classroom. And we will work on this. You guys are doing fantastic with this. I know it's challenging, but you're doing so good. I'm extremely impressed with this, with your guys' grade.